I think it's about time for clear questions. And
It's time.
The way you've been going today, I just want to crush all of these.
Why
no
don't
pun
you?
intended, because you're driving me nuts today. But we go. Ballers throwing phones. Debo's swinging. Got a lot of new flavors
Look at
here
that.
from Clear Rum.
Look at that.
Yeah, you should just crush one right now, buddy.
A little water in your body.
Yeah, you got water.
Hydrate while you dehydrate.
That's right. But our good friends at Clear Rum, clearrum.com. We got some clear questions, Baller.
Yes, we do.
Yes, sir. This one's from Frank, Chicken Pig Hog, over on Twitter. What's the funniest or most badass Ray Emery story you guys have? It's a shame he passed, and I wish he could have been a guest on Nasty Knuckles. Rest in peace, Razor.
Yeah, rest in peace.
You're kidding. What a good man.
Jeez.
Oh, trying to
What do you got, Nas?
something.
Why don't you talk about the Lappy story? I mean, it's not a badass story, but it's kind of a funny one.
Did I say that? Did I tell that one before?
I'm not sure if you have.
Well, it was pretty. I feel like I just talked about that, but one of the things was the boys play cards on the plane. So Lappy had won finally. He won like $1,500, and we were going somewhere on the road. So Lappy got undressed real quick, and he's going out of the locker room, and he says, "Hey, Razor, don't forget that $1,500 you owe me." And he's like all proud of himself. Some of the guys kind of laughing. Razor looks at him and goes, "Hang on, Lappy, I'll grab it out of my ashtray."
Yeah.
And Lappy put his head down and just walked out of the room, and the whole room explodes in laughter like it's ashtray change, the
right.
$1,500. But Razor used to, I'd have my expense check for the month. Like, we'd be going on the road, and usually everything was, like, happening. We're trying to get everything packed to get on the road, and I wouldn't have time to stop by the bank. So I'd always, like, get on a plane, and I'd be like, "Razor," he's like, Ray Emery Nationals Open, because he always carried it. We called it the football, remember?
Oh, yeah,
he always had 10G cash,
yeah.
and he would give me the cash for my for the expense checks. I would sign it over to him. But badass story, like, God, that guy was just a badass. Like, there's no doubt about it. In the NHL, he didn't have as many fights as he did in the American League.
Oh, yeah, right.
He fought a lot, and he fought Josh
Some
Gratton
heavyweights,
toe-to-toe. And remember, he fought Marty Biron, kind of let him off the hook, and then he fought Peters and was laughing.
Yeah.
And was
Smile on his
laughing, but
face.
he told us some stories. He told me some stories from shit he had to deal with, in the minors, a few altercations that happened off the ice, which were not his fault, but he was a Golden Gloves boxer,
Yeah,
too.
I know, yeah. People
He was
forget.
just a tough man. Like, to answer the question, Ray Emery was just a badass, and he was an unbelievable person. And the first day he was there, we got to know him, and, you had heard, you hear things about guys, and dude, he could have been a better teammate, a better person. Love that guy, man. Love him.
He was a beauty. Funny story. I think I've maybe told it before on this pod, but my first and only power play time I ever got with the Flyers was against Ottawa Senators. I'm standing in front of the net, and I forget what the score was. We were up, and the game was like kind of over. But Johnny threw me out there. Go stand in front of the net, and so I got Ray Emery poking at the back of my legs, asking me to fight in the middle of the power play, and I was like, man,
I got a power
power play here. Like, what do I do? Like, this is tough situation here. Do I fight, Razor, or do I actually try and play and try and squeeze something out of this? So it turns out, I forget how the play went. I think it was loops on the half wall, threw it across, and I kind of get a stick on it, and then Uppy taps it in backdoor.
So I got
an apple. Yeah, first power play and only apple on the power play in my career. But as soon as it happened, we're celebrating, and then Razor's looking at me. He's like, "We still gonna go?" And I was like, I'm like, "No, I gotta go celebrate."
Yeah, I gotta celebrate. Sorry about it.
Sorry about it. Next time. But it was just funny, guys so into the game. Obviously, he wasn't joking. He wanted to fight.
Wanted to go.
And I struggled with that one because I was like, man, this could be a really cool opportunity to fight. But then I'm also in the power play, But yeah, raising the lineup, being my my teammate, obviously, and you mentioned it, just like a great guy. Like he just a very good human and just good personality. Good humor,
funny.
right? Just funny.
Guy.
You never think that he was, as crazy as he was. But yeah.
Oh my God.
R.I.P. Yeah, it's a great question because there's
Yeah.
probably a lot of stuff that's not coming up.
I could go on
Oh, yeah.
forever.
And the other thing that comes up for me is not like it's a crazy story, but just you get to the bar and he'd always do his quick shot of, I think it was Jack, and he'd grab his beer, but then he fired up the stanky leg. He put his
Yeah.
you get a stanky leg going, and Razor was ready to rock.
We had the first day I met him, he had to do an interview, Daily News Live, at the Citizens Bank. So we went and did that. We stayed for a couple innings, and then we went out, and we ended up having a Michael Jackson dance-off that night.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Well, Thriller?
Yeah, we're doing it all. I didn't give it any of that. But I was giving more of my kick. My Michael Jackson kick.
Yeah,
He's got that kick.
Yeah.
But, yeah, one of the things also quickly, we've talked about it before with when Neil Little did the dive, the famous dive.
Of course, yeah.
We went there 2 weeks later. Ray had like steam coming out of his nose, and he was standing at.
Just
they were
ready.
him and McGrattan, Big Earn. They were firing pucks off the back of Litz's legs, and I'm dying laughing. I'm like, this is gonna be an absolute shit show. And then Litz comes over to do his normal little water thing. He would put his glove down, and I'd put a towel there, and Razor's going, "You're fucking dead, Little. You're fucking dead." And I'm like.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, I put a towel up over my mouth, and he goes, "Oh, real fucking funny, isn't it?" Yeah. I was like, "Yeah, it is actually." But you should have seen Litz kicking that game. He didn't want it to get out of hand because he knew Ray was coming the length. But
it's gotta be tough to focus at the pipes.
my God.
Knowing that he's on the other side, trying to keep your composure.
Yeah, man. Well, he thought Litz said, "I thought McGrath was just gonna run me through the wall," and just get tossed. But anyway, great question. Like I said, we could go on forever about Razor. Just a great human, man.